challenges. So that's normal. Okay. So for you to just embrace it, and then there's a lot of possibilities that you can do as long as your team is always into the vision of the company. Okay. Next, we have passion and purpose, which is start with a strong sense of passion and purpose. So it's hard to, that's why when I ask you to think of an idea, make sure it's related to your field, right? Because if it's out of your field, it's going to be very difficult, especially in implementing the product. And another also is it's going to be costly if you will hire someone to work on the product instead of you just working on the product. Nakuha no? And a good example on this one is the Apple product. Like for the past years, they're able to, really share that strong sense of passion, set up on innovations, okay, to the audience. And then that becomes defensible as a company, okay. And then the way people think of Apple is different from other companies, right? Like the way they, level up the status of individual is different from other companies. Nakuha no? What about resilience? Can someone give their opinion about resilience? Especially in starting a business. Anyone? Yeah.
You always believe in your partner even though failure na hindi siya work out at first. Like the example na Netflix can at first wala mo din sa inyo pato pero everyone especially sa Philippines can up in lang.
That's right. What about Saloyo? Is everyone of you? What about Saloyo? Go. Or I will call na lang. Eyes on. But yeah, just your understanding about resilience. You can say eyes on. Go. No, your understanding about resilience and also it's how it relates to starting a business or running a business. Staying strong. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point also. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just never give up and keep pushing your business.
Yeah. Never give up. That's a good attitude. Yeah, for resilient, again, as mentioned, it's not always like whatever your strategy, it's not always going to work. Okay, sometimes it fails, sometimes also it succeeds. Okay, but you have to really, if you have a great team, and then you can minimize the risk of failing. But of course, if you're starting a business, there's always that high risk. Okay, and then a good example as mentioned is the story of Netflix. Initially, is the struggled with a lot, especially in competing with Blockbuster. So familiar with Blockbuster? No? Yeah, Blockbuster. And then how it changed is the way they disrupt the market of DVDs and also moving towards subscriptions and able them to defeat the Blockbuster. And a good example also, which is Maya, which primarily now is a lot of people are usually using for the top platform is Gcash, but Maya have been doing a lot of changes in their model, trying to separate from Gcash. Okay. Next is openness to learning. Can someone share their understanding why you need to be open? Anyone? Especially in starting a business, or maybe in your career, diba? Especially when you want to work with top companies, not only here in the Philippines. Anyone? Or Nang, go ahead.
I think it's be open-minded, especially in your surroundings. Like for example, something that can give you an idea. Like for example, for civil engineering, like different products.
Yeah.
For example, like the Techpre, what can you innovate for others, like their innovation?
That's nice. So a good example in this one is TikTok. Before, wala pang TikTok, there's Musical.ly. Nakause ko Musical.ly before. Kasi like I short clips na yun. And then it was merged with TikTok. And there's a lot of changes in their management that time. So, and again, like the purpose is really achieve the vision. If it requires other companies to do it and also merging the company, then be open to do it. Okay, if it's for the better. So yeah, things happen in the business. Sometimes it hurts founders, and also it hurts those in the management level. But you know, the reality is really have to adapt. Okay, so what's really going on in the market? Okay. Next is adaptability. Anyone or Alvarado? Go ahead.
Being able to experience things and learn from those experiences,
Yeah.
especially from the failures and mistakes that you made, and to do better, to be able to improve your business.
Yeah, that's right. A good example on this one, kasi give us stories sa Airbnb. They started sa breakfast and that, di ba? And then they realized that there's really interest on the booking, especially for condominiums and so on. So they shifted their model instead of breakfast and that. That's why BNB gihapon na siya. Okay, but we put it in air so that you can easily book it. And then that's the same also with Gcash. Like Gcash encountered a lot of backlash also before, and then they're able to really create a model from SMS money sending to become a mobile platform. But the good thing with Gcash is they have a lot of money which backed by conglomerate. And then another is risk tolerance. Can someone abide guard? Go.
What I understand from risk tolerance is that when we take risk, it should be calculated so that we can survive if we happen if we face that risk, and if we succeed with that thing, we will receive more reward.
Yeah. So as long as it's calculated, then feel free to do it. Okay. But if it's not, then think about your life. You can add also after. Yeah. Next, we have networking. Anyone? Charo. Raffles. Go ahead. Again, sorry. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's good. What else? Anyone? Dando? And yeah, a good example of this one is, make sure that you're building a foundation related to your industry. So for example, if you are in RTW na clothing, then find those people na into that field as well. So that the good thing is, they already know what's going on in the market, and then you can get ideas, or you can get strategies, and then apply that in your business. Okay, then that's the same as if you're a civil engineering, of course, you can work with builders here in Cebu, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then you can easily do networking right now is you can do social media, there's already LinkedIn. Na may LinkedIn talaga. Wala pa may LinkedIn? 4th year na mo, di ba? You should have, or 3rd year, you should have your own LinkedIn na as early as now. Yeah. Oh my God. Cruise. So yeah, to those wala ka sa LinkedIn, it's platform for professionals in which you can add your credentials to it, okay, and then connect with other professionals. Okay? Especially if you're looking for jobs. Most of the companies now, or all of the companies, they will check your LinkedIn instead of your CV. Okay? Because LinkedIn is much credible. Next is customer-centric focus. I'm not sure if you understand customer-centric focus, but a good example on this one, kinsa nakause og loan? Also mo makause of Loom. Oh my God. So Loom is a video sharing platform. Usually used for business. Yeah, let's say they do recording sa ilang screen and then they can easily share it to their peers and then do reviews. Instead of having like mag-set up a kagdagang camera sa mas diba? It's very complicated. But Loom able to simplify it. So a customer-centric model. If you can watch the story of Loom, they have nice stories also. They're a billion-dollar company now. And the good thing with there is they're focused on the core value of their product, which is the video. When they search also like what's really like the most challenging or most problem of the customers or audience when creating video, and then they find solutions that they're doing like the Loop, in which you can easily do the screen recording and then share it to your peers and allow your peers also to review and do comments like so it's like YouTube, but this one is allows you to do the recording. And then they've been able to change their strategies and then trying to understand what's really the need of the customers instead of trying to introduce new technologies which doesn't make sense to them. Okay, so on your product also like that's really important that you really have to understand like it's normal sa technology driven may mga individuals like us nga think of solutions and then you believe that the solutions kay mao ra gina siya and then you're not listening to the inputs of your customers, then that's a no-no. So you really have to understand what they want and then try to validate also if that product or features you have really fit to that wants nila. Okay? Questions? Na para na? Next we have long-term vision. Anyone? Go ahead.
The market changes or the demand of the people also changes. In order for the business to thrive, you should look long term for the business to be successful.
Yeah. And then I guess like it's a good story sa Zoom, di ba? So nakayo sa Zoom. Okay, good. So yeah, they've been in the business for how many years, di ba? But they believe the vision and then it's unfortunate lang nga it requires pandemic nga ang mga users to adapt it, di ba? And then they're able to, defeat the Skype and other video streaming ng mga platforms. Okay. So yeah, I just believe in the long-term goal that if something will happen and then it can easily be shared by other audience to other audience. Okay. So they call it a multiplier. Kaya naman niya. O sa inyo gi-use for when you create a presentation. Canva. Siya yung founder sa Canva. She's also Filipino, half Filipino, di ba? So, nice that they have a story. They have this idea of introducing new technologies that simplifies creating presentations. Because before, way back at 2014 and past and years, it's really hard to compete with the likes of Microsoft, di ba? They already penetrated the presentation industry that time. And then sila is nobody believes in ang product and it can be easily done. And then fortunately, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Guy Kawasaki, one of the employee of Apple, and then is able to help the Canva team. So yeah, you can watch also sa video. So yeah, they were not able to raise funding at the beginning, but they believe that they can simplify creations of presentations, and now Canva has become a $1 billion company. So, but it took them more than 10 years to do it. So that's normal, especially when you're working with a startup. Okay, but the good thing is they have key differentiations right away with the likes of Google and also with the likes of Microsoft and PowerPoint. So it is really simplifying the presentations using the web or the browser. Next is we have team building. Robaro. What else? Is a part of organization or mga officer. Kasi mga officer. Kinsa, go ahead. So why team building is important? Yeah, go ahead. Saka to part of. Yeah, say something. Say something.
I believe, sir, that building a team is important. It's because it's easier to have something or to do something if you're with the right people, if you are with the people that has the same mission and vision as yours. So in finding or building a team, it must be some people na ng same old passion, let's say yung passionate. It's because if you're with the wrong people, okay, everything that you're doing, you're doing sila na, so it's better na kanang if the persons are they know what they're doing, so it's really easy to do something. So yeah, that's in the
So another one point also, it's hard to align the team if you have different visions, diba? So make sure that you have the same goal as individuals. And even if it's diverse, but if you have similar goals, then I guess there's no point of doing different things. So much better if you can just go as a one team or as a team. Next we have, of course, work-life balance. This is common, especially for founders na ma-burn out sila. So make sure na you still have another life, okay? Ayaw siya focus lang sa inyo mga frustrations or stress nga mga environment. And another, kailan mo na Gia? Saka ito na kailan. Go. What can you say? Yeah, SBF, okay, to those wala kailan, SBF is the founder of FTX. It's one of the most controversial company the past years. And they went bankrupt recently, and then he's he's in jail now. So yeah. So the point here is make sure when you start a business, make sure to really understand your financial. Okay, don't just if you have a lot of money, that's good. But if things doesn't work, and then other or external companies will try to target you to ensure that you're doing monitoring or assuring the finances of your company, and then that will affect also sa inyong brand or sa company. And yeah, just ensure simple functionalities, which is determine the cash flow, what's going on in terms of the revenue, who are those paying you, and then identify also what are the expenses needed every month, and then let's see if it's going to be positive or negative. Okay, clear now? Next is in relations to work-life balance, and then persistence. Can someone explain? Balibalos. Okay. Dahil na saan. Rotakyo.
you're able to try until you get what you want from the sir. You will have to face failure with strength, you will overcome that.
Yeah. I guess if you're passionate and really believe your vision, and you're excited every day, I guess experiencing those failures, it won't discourage you, but encourage you to do more. So yeah. Next is celebrate small wins. So if you're able to launch your product, then have a beer. If you're able to get one customers, then have a beer, and so on and so forth. Okay. Next is just don't die. Okay. Para gina siya importante. Okay. Yeah, failure happens, and then challenges happen to individuals. Okay. So just don't die. Okay. Para gina siya importante. So if your company will die, make sure lang hindi ka ma-fail. Okay? So, para gina siya. So, failure is not an option. Okay? So, you really have to move forward. And then that's life. That's life in, after graduations that, you have all of the responsibilities in the world. And then if you're not working, then mamatay ka. So, those are like the key elements that you can you know, consider when starting a business if you're ready or not. Okay. And another also like I can add is I learned this recently also, like don't start a business if you have a lot of money and then that's your first business. So because it will fail 200%. Okay? So if you have a lot of money, but if you don't have money and then you're really excited about the product, then much better because you can understand, you know, the way Canva works or, you know, the story of Canva. You're able to utilize less resources and then achieve a lot. So compared to having a lot of resources and then, you know, you just waste a lot of money and then at the end of the day is your product will not work. Okay, so understand. Do you have something to share?
I'm gonna just summarize that.
Yeah.
So, how many of you here have Nokia phones? Nokia phones. So let's talk about Nokia for a bit. Nokia was the #1 selling phone in the early 2000s. Now, all our parents had it. When we were kids, we wanted it. But what happened? Why are we all using iPhones and Samsungs? Exactly. Wala sa kada. And I think that's one of the most important things when starting a business. And in any venture, you have to know when things will work out and when things won't work out. And you also have to persist. A good example of persistence is Canva. Emily Matala?
Yeah.
She had to go through 100 VCs. She even had to learn water skiing just so she can talk to a VC, just to get funding for her startup. That's persistence. You do whatever it takes to get what you want, including long-term vision. Amazon, Google, Tesla, one of the most successful startups. How long do you think it took for them to be successful? Amazon, for example, started in 1998?
75. Yeah, and Amazon, no, sorry. That was Microsoft then.
1998 or something. It started as a bookstore, online bookstore, because Jeff Bezos wanted to sell books online. What happened now? They're the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, worth billions. What it took them 20 to 30 years. Right? Canva became a $1 billion company after 10 years. Starting a business is not easy. Who here comes from a family of businessmen? Wala. You ask your parents how easy it is. If they're first generation, they'll tell you it's not easy. If they're second generation, the hand down na nila. So it's slightly easy. But if you're the person you're the first person in your family to start the business, you will go through all the hardships without having a mentor, without knowing what to do. I come from first generation of business owners. Me and my sister decided to start a business. Our parents, they're professionals. My dad's a doctor, my mom's an engineer. They never taught us how to do business, how to do taxes. One day I had a phone call. We had to contact someone in Manila to print our receipts because my sister's PIN number was registered in Quezon City because she used to work in Quezon City. So we had to print our receipts in Quezon City because we can't print it here in Cebu. So I contacted a guy in Quezon City, and he calls me one morning and said, "Sir, no, sorry, excuse my Tagalog, bro." He was like, "Sir, you have a penalty." I was like, "Oh, how much?" He's like, 25. I was like, 25? Okay, no. I was like, 2,500? Hindi po, sir. Magkano? He was like, 25,000. Huh? 25,000 penalty? Ano yun? And then he was like, it's delayed. You gave the authority to print late, more than 30 days. So I was like, no. We gave it on time. So I talked to my bookkeeper, and she said, we gave it on time, and then it's the BIR's fault because they did a Dropbox thing. So when you register as a new business, at that time, around 2020, you had to go through BIR and you drop your stuff there, you leave it there. And they go through it within 30 days. So after 30 days, late na. So we asked them, okay, we got a certificate? No. So we did that. We got a certificate that wasn't late, but they received it early. I sent it to the guy in Quezon City, and he still told me the next day, "Sir, my penalty pa rin. Do you want to go under the table?" I was like, "Huh?" I'm trying to start a new business. I'm still beginner at this. I wanted to do things clean, so I said no, and I just left all the stuff. Like we already paid the guy, but bahala na. We don't want to go through that process. So stuff like these, you learn as a new business owner, especially if you're not taught how to do this. So as long as you keep going and you learn along the way, remember, and also one thing, you remember your mistakes. That's the most important thing. You don't want to be repeating the same mistakes when you're already big, because it'd be costing you more. So I have a lot of examples where that's not diverse, but it's a good experience, and I hope you guys will enjoy it also, because it's a different area.
Yeah.
And this is
Technopreneur.
Technopreneur, so you guys are gonna learn a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy.
So yeah, I can relate sa BIR, so, and also with government. So it's not our fault, but you know, you have to pay, and then you have to go through the under the table. So if you are, you know, an honest guy, then it's complicated. So have someone who works in your business. So especially in finance. Introducing again the initiatives we have here in Cebu. So we have the Dohe Mixer, which will happen every third Wednesday of the month, every 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. They have entrepreneurship class, which we're trying to encourage students, or at least expose the students to the startup community. And another also, we have the US Tech Hub sa Katolito. And then Sututil Bali is a startup group here in Cebu. So we're trying to, you know, introduce, or, you know, the founders trying to collaborate with each other. And then we have Web3 community as well, kasi interested sa Web3. Crypto, Bitcoins. Wala sa mo mag-invest?
By the way, guys, don't worry if you're not in LinkedIn yet, you haven't used Loom. Pressure mo ni Ken here because a lot of people aren't in LinkedIn yet also, and you're still students, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's still fine. You still have time. You still have time. You have a lot of time to pay. And then another also, we have the ICT, the USD, and the DTI programs. So check. Wala na tayong events this week. And we will be introducing also the phstartup.org hopefully early next month, as mentioned. So sharing other, you know, insights from the founders, and also from, you know, people that already, you know, made names sa industry. So I guess like you were able to watch also the founders on Netflix, no? Kasi naka-watch the founders on Netflix. Wala. So just sharing the, you know, the end part ni Rick Krug. So this is about persistence.
How the heck does a 52-year-old over-the-hill milkshake machine salesman build a fast food empire with 1,600 restaurants?